We're live. So hello everyone and welcome to the PagerDuty MCP community live stream. I'm Rocio, product manager of the Forward Deploy engineering team.
And I'm Jose Antonio Reyes, Senior Innovation Engineer at PagerDuty as part of the Forward Deploy engineering team.
And we're excited to have you here for our second session in this series. For those who might have missed it, on our first session, we covered the foundations and some new AIOps tools. Today, we're focusing on AIOps enhancements, specifically around incident insights, service, and global orchestrations. And in November 12, we will be covering status pages, incident workflows, and on-call management. So make sure you mark your calendars for November 12. We also want you to make sure you're connected to us across all platforms. So we're going to be posting these links in the chat so that you can find us. In our community events, you can subscribe to those and know when the next stream is happening. You can follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to YouTube, and watch us live here in Twitch. Before we dive into the session, just a reminder to please feel free to ask questions throughout the stream in the chat. We will be monitoring and addressing them as we go. Now let's talk about what is happening in our roadmap, right? So in September, we launched the features that build, the foundation for what we will be showing today. And we added some new AIOps tools. Now in October, which is what we are focusing on today, we have some really exciting enhancements, which our special guest will later explain. The first one is AIOps Incident Insights, as I mentioned before, global orchestrations and service orchestrations for a more granular control at a service level. And on even some bigger news, we have been added to the GitHub MCP registry today. So we'll drop the link in chat in case you want to check that out. And looking ahead, in November, we have got status pages tools for enhanced public and private status page capabilities, incident workflows to streamline incident management processes, and on-call management tools for improved scheduling and rotation. Now, let's transition to talking about how this all fits into our AI-first approach, and I'll hand it over to Jose, who will tell us more about it.
Thank you very much, Rocio, for the introduction. Yes, during this release, we managed to publish 5 new tools for MCP, which are, let me scroll down through the README up down to the new tools. Those new tools are Get Event Orchestration Global, Get Event Orchestration for Service, and to complete the Incident Insights tools, we added Get Outlier Incidents, Past Incidents, and Related Incidents. Next, 2 of our teammates are going to lead you through real examples of leveraging each of these new tools. But first, I like to be on top of the announcement that Rocio just made regarding the MCP registry from GitHub, where we are now published as PagerDuty MCP server. Once you click there, that will lead you to this page, which will allow you to, by just clicking on install MCP server, allow you to go directly to your VS Code editor and open the extension for PagerDuty MCP server. By clicking on install, it will get installed in your VS Code editor. Now let's transition to the real use case for our new incident insights and even orchestration for services and global. So I'd like to turn this over to Rodrigo. Please go, Rodrigo, go ahead.
Thanks, Jose. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rodrigo Munoz. I'm part of Forward Deployed Engineer here at PagerDuty. I've been with the company for about a year and a half now. And during this time, I've developed deep expertise in PagerDuty features with particular focus on our AIOps product. For those unfamiliar, AIOps helps teams reduce alert noise, improve incident visibility, triage efficiently, and remove manual repetitive work from the incident response. Today, I walk you through a real scenario leveraging AIOps and MCP server in our daily response workflow. Think of MCP server like applications you install on your phone. So each one gives your MCP client new capabilities, whether that reading file, querying databases, or connecting different APIs. For this demo, I'll be using Cloud and with different MCP services. Let me show you that. So we have today Atlassian, GitHub, and PagerDuty itself with the new capabilities we have which are available right now, and show you what modern incident management looks like in action. So let's dive in. Oh my God. Okay. For example, hey, I receive a notification in my cell phone. So let's prompt in my Cloud Code. Hey, I receive a notification from a specific incident. Can you check the details? So Cloud Code immediately identifies which MCP server it has to use to retrieve this information. So it will use get incident, retrieving the information regarding who is the assignee, in which service this was impacted. So we can do everything in our side. We can do it, of course, in PagerDuty, but this is really good. We know the status of the incident, what can we do, and we can still ask more questions regarding those AIOps features available. So let's see, is this something new or not? So can you validate if this is a new or normal one? Use outlier analysis. For the ones who doesn't know what does these capabilities in AIOps in PagerDuty, these features provide incident to the incident responder immediate context. How often similar incidents have occurred in this incident. So as you can see, for example, for this specific incident, we never seen this before. So the frequency is just 0. Okay, this use machine learning to identify and calculate the real frequency of this incident. So this is not normal, and we can still use more AIOps capability to identify more information. So do we know if this impacted only these services, or can you get related incident? Why related incident is important? So I will go back to PagerDuty. If you have never seen before the service dependency graph, PagerDuty service dependency allow you to map relationship between services in your infrastructure to understand how incident cascade and impact your service. So for example, in this scenario, we have a network as a business services, and our technical services is connectivity and access. So as you can see, both a technical service were impacted in my analysis. All of this thanks to the capabilities that the machine learnings provide today of AIOps. So we have a full analysis of what's going on and what we can do. We can start identify, for example, which are the responder assigned to that to the other related incident, contact them through Slack, or just create a new conference bridge or Zoom. We can you can imagine there is not limit to do that. So, but for this scenario, we have all we need. and let's use another MCP server. So to do that, we know this is impacted an specific problem. So I will reach our GitHub if something have changed um, during the last days. So if I prompt something like this, can you check if something has happened this day in a specific repository? Any recent pull request, this Cloud Code will identify we need to use the MCP server of GitHub. So as you can see, this will request if something has happened in that specific repo, and we will see if someone has made any change. For example, I will show you the repo. This is a MCP demo. And someone has made a pull request just a few hours ago, and yes, we got the details. This is someone made a pull request just 1 hour ago. The same we see in the application itself. We can do everything in a smart way using our MCP client. With all this information, as a responder, I don't have to be very technical. I can read what's going on, and this shouldn't be in production. So what can I do? I need to contact my developers to solve this issue. Another great capability we can use today is, let's use another MCP to create a Jira ticket in a specific project with all this investigation, when the error happened, what services are affected, outlier analysis, related incident, root cause, timeline, and recommended action. So with this amazing prompt, we can our client server identify I need to use another MCP server. In this case, is Atlassian. It got all the information I need. It goes to lead the resources of the MCP. It identify it needs to use Atlassian. So let's give some seconds. So now they know they have to create a comprehensive analysis. It found my specific project. I will want to create this incident. And now it create a specific template with all the details of my investigation. So let's wait for a second. In the meantime, I can show you another one I created in the past. So the MCP is able to create a full detail. Okay, perfect. I got the way to create my Jira ticket. So but this is something I can show you for another case. So the timeline, when that happened, what were the affected services, if this in PagerDuty or in GitHub, if this is was a new incident or not, and the root cause analysis. So let me just copy the one I created now in live. Sorry for the and everything I have said to you is what's happened, like a full timeline, when that happened, which incident are affected, if this is new or not, and also it could provide to our responders, sorry, to our developers, a quick solution, what they have to do to resolve this problem. So everything as a responder, as a first point of contact, without being so technical, I can help all my organization to resolve these problems easily. We don't have enough time, but you can imagine what is next. Developers will solve this problem, will create a PR and resolve this in production, and then we can create a full resolution, how we have the capabilities to connect to Atlassian. we can resolve one this incident and create a full post-mortem resolution and create a page in Confluence. How we don't have the time. I invite you to start working with this MCP and connect everything together, because this is amazing and will save a lot of time to your world organization. Thank you. So I pass to my colleague Alejandro, who will show you how to manage another AIOps capabilities.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Hello, my name is Alejandro Spuller. I am also forward deploy engineer consultant here in PagerDuty, almost for 2 years from now. So I have to present today a representation of a use case where an owner or an admin of the PagerDuty platform could do using these new MCP features, specifically over the event orchestration we just released. Okay, so let me explain first the example. Okay, we have here just representing like a payment application working. So you have different technical services now are impacted. We create a lot of incidents over one orchestration. The orchestration is in here, okay? And this orchestration is routing for those 4 services and a cachot in case the event is not found, okay? So using the same techniques of my teammates, I will show you my cloud code. Okay, let me, okay. So, I just request a summary of the same thing I say to demonstrate I have connect my MCP through my cloud code here. So if you see here, we are triggering this global orchestration. We have here the roots of the services, the global rules, and the service roots. Okay, so let's start. To demonstrate the capability of using get global orchestration, we will be prompting this to get that data from the MCP of PagerDuty. Okay, so we are assuming you already are working everything with AI using prompts. You can use in different things, different agents to work with the PagerDuty objects. So let's try to get the orchestration to manage the AIOps best practice first, then check for the provider hosted handling, conditional suppression, enrichment of your incidents, um, primary routing, maintenance windows, and find gaps and high impact fixes to improve our operations or cloud operations using PagerDuty. So let's trigger this and let's wait for that answer, because now through the MCP is getting the orchestration, the service related, the incident of those services in order to start make the analysis and see the opportunity improvement. Okay, so now it's baking. Let's wait a little. So we believe strongly the MCP of PagerDuty could help you to improve PagerDuty through the current AI client you are using in your company. And of course, this is real time, so sometimes take a little based on the example. So here is the analysis. Let's go and see which are the suggestions. Okay, let me hide that part. Oops. Let me see the terminal again. Oh, okay. I close the terminal. Here it is. Okay. Let's go to the prompt and the response. Okay. So here is the response. This is an AIOps best practice audit over that default global orchestration. And the first thing, this is a rule configure global with those characteristics. And let's start. So related to the provider outage handling is a critical gap. Currently, we don't have provider to handle that. And that is correct because when we create this case scenario, we did the incidents through the event API, so we don't specify a real source or monitoring tool. So the first thing is go and set properly those providers in order to identify from which monitoring tool the problem is happening and try to impact and resolve faster those incidents. Okay. Another recommendation we see here is the conditional suppression. We are not suppressing any rules. So always we can go and search for this false positive in order to suppress and reduce noise and of course improve our operation. So in here, we can improve until a 70% of the alerts and reduce noise. Okay. Another stuff based on the enrichment, we don't have context data enhancement, criticality on the service, custom impact score, SLA, CMDB, Rambo, business, and also that's right because based on the incidents we are sending, let me show you an example. We have just simple data in this particular GWT incidents create. So improve and enrich your incidents will be a good recommendation. And now you have it in this MCP and Cloud Code solution. Also, recommend you strongly routing based on the prioritization, right? We have the capability in PagerDuty to map that criticality and transform these in priorities, and from there take different decisions. So if you don't have that capability in your monitoring tool, through event orchestrations, we can fix and set those capabilities using, for example, the global orchestration. So again, try to establish dynamic priority assignment, SLA aware routing, custom entire-based escalation, etc. Okay, and also through maintenance Windows handling in order to manage your services, and every single user is aware about what's happening in the operation. And then start searching for the gaps, right? So phones 4 critical and 1 major. And again, is throwing here really cool recommendations and a plan to execute those in 4 weeks. Okay. So here, after, creates a matrix with the recommendations, the urgency, and which execute immediately and which not. So it's really cool. What else? Let's try. And now from the data of my instance, let's try this. Using AIOps incident insight, list the top 5 noisy services in the last 7 days. Okay. And get the services, review the rules, and try to reduce noise by 20 or 30%. Okay, so now it's getting the incidents and start making the analysis. now I select the whole instance. So some authorizations. Because he has to got the 5 top noisy services. I have a lot of noisy services here in this instance. Let me go to service directory in the meantime. So this is analyzing those. Okay, now it's ready. So let's go and review this report. Okay, noise analysis, top 5 noise services. So these are the noise services on my instance. More than 60 incidents in the last 7 days because I am doing a lot of tests on those. And here are the others we create for the example. So if we start reviewing here, the first the priority is the service with more incidents. And from there, they are detecting. We have that heartbeat missing alerts. Yes, because a heartbeat could be a really noisy alert. If we are creating incident with that, you are receiving the whole time the same signal. So for sure, that's an optimization we can do using PagerDuty. Then you can use the duplication and create one rule to establish this. So if you see, this is creating the event orchestration rules for you or the suggestion. Let me show you this in PagerDuty to make this real. If we go to the orchestration, right? One way to do this is through the global way or the or at the service level. But let's use this. So if you see here, the recommendation is go and search for that dedupe key and put a suppression window for 5 minutes based on the subject contains this severity alert or contain this other. So you can create this from PagerDuty. Just put in the summary like this is suggesting. Okay, and from here set the severity of the alert in warning. Okay, so with that, alerts of 1 minute will be set in warning and so on and so on. So you have to see if this adapt to your real business, but at least this is creating cool rules to start establish the improvement of the 30% of reduction based on those incidents per week. Okay, for example, in the order service is offering noise pattern to identify, setting the control in order to rescue the other incidents you are receiving in the API auth, and from there continue improving the process. More suggestion based on that, and also really cool rules in order to how manage the low or high urgency in order to page less if the the incident is required in low or high urgency. So in here you have a summary metrics, the things you can do and implement. Use that simple command. For the last part is just a summarization of the remediation problem we are seeing. So let me go, and this will be faster because this will be taking the whole structure of data was taken from the other 2 prompts to testing the new features of this MCP. And with this, we will be getting a cool remediation plan for the global changes, for the service changes, in order to reduce noise and improve the MTTAs and MTTRs. Let's wait to process this change. Okay. Sometimes this plan change. So, okay. You can, as I told you, you can reduce noise, following the best practice on AIOps configuration, improve the MTTA, save you money because you will have less incident, more grouped. Your resource will be more focused in the problem resolution. So as you can see, you have the specific service, you have the checklist implementation in order to configure what status on the first week, foundation, in the second week, intelligence, in the third week, pattern recognition, and validation and rollout, and improve your metrics in your operations. And everything was creating just using 3 different prompts using the new features of MCP PagerDuty. Rocio?
Thank you so much, Alejandro, and thank you, Rodrigo, as well. Now we are wrapping up our session, and what we want to do is make sure you have all the resources you'll need. So I'll send over in the chat some very useful links. Make sure you bookmark the ones you'll need. I have also shared our community email in case you want to reach us, to get in touch with us directly. And whether you have questions or feedback or new enhancement ideas or contributions, you can also send those via our GitHub repository. Now I'll have Jose join me, and we'll wrap this up with some Q&A time if we have any questions. If someone live wants to ask those, you can send a comment as well.
Yeah, that's right. And before wrapping up, I like to thanks to Rodrigo and Alejandro for these amazing demonstrations of near to real use case scenarios where they showed how to leverage the new tools. We need to, I'm thinking out loud here, Rocio, that we need to look for a way to share the prompts or something for the community to run these same examples, get some inspiration, and start leveraging these same use cases in their daily incident resolution workflows. For wrapping up, I like to also share the link for our remote MCP server, which is the same local one, but for being used through the HTTP protocol. So in this case, you don't have to install it, and this is another way in which you can leverage our MCP server.
That's the first link in the last comment, just in case.
Awesome. If you already shared, that's great. So I'll say that this is pretty much it for today's streaming on PagerDuty MCP community.
Yes, and remember, please, that our next session will be on November 12th, and we'll cover some status pages, incident workflows, and on-call management capabilities. So see you then, and thank you all for joining us.